welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We are coming at you from Newtown, North Dakota. I'm sitting with Clarissa Mandan. Welcome to the show, Clarissa.
Thanks. It's nice to be here.
Thank you. You know, it's so interesting because you have a last name of Mandan, and this is part of the tribe up here.
Correct. It's
Tell
one
us
of
about
the three tribes formerly known as three affiliated tribes, but it's Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara. Nowadays, we refer to ourselves as the Nuita, Hidatsa, and the Sanish, which is basically different names for the Mandan and the Arikara tribes. But my last name comes from my ex-husband, who is the grandson of the first chairman of the tribe, Arthur Mandan. And the name was given to him by missionaries. At the time, the first missionary came to Fort Berthold, formerly known as Fort Berthold, but is now the Mandan Hidatsa Arikara Nation. The missionary hung the last name Mandan on him, and his English name was Arthur Mandan. And he was actually a son of Red Buffalo Cow, I believe. And Red Buffalo Cow was a Mandan chief during the Knife River days when the tribes were formerly located in the Stanton area.
Wow, such great history.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So then, all right, and I did a little bit of research, and they said that the Arikara name actually came from the Pawnee. The Pawnee called you guys Arikara or Cree or Ree. There was about 5 different names. I read it in one of these. You guys have some really good information here, by the way. I just want to point that out. But everything's so interesting. But let's hop right to Newtown. Tell us about Newtown, how it got started.
Sure. Well, as everyone knows, Lake Sakakawea, 155,000 acre lake, is situated right in the center of our state. And that flood control project, as it was, the legislation was created by the Pick-Sloan Act in the late 40s as a measure of flood control. But that project flooded 155,000 acres of the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation. And the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation was originally established by the Treaty of 1857 during the Fort Laramie Treaty. And all of the tribes were asked to remain in certain territories. Our traditional territory extended from Canada all the way to the Black Hills at that time. But we were asked to, set some boundaries for our territory. So it became from the Canadian boundary to the Black Hills, all the way into the mouth of the Yellowstone up there in Montana. And so our original territory was very, very large. It had been reduced during the 1800s through a series of executive orders, treaties, the railroad taking, and so forth, down to less than 1 million acres of what it is today. So it's around 900 and some thousand acres today is our actual territory boundaries today on the reservation.
Interesting. And so then there were actually 3 towns that were flooded that then became Newtown?
Correct. With the advent of the Pick-Sloan Act and the flood control and the building of the Garrison Dam, the site was chosen for the flooding. And unfortunately, the site that was selected where it is today caused the largest amount of flooding and relocation and trauma to the members of the 3 affiliated tribes, as it flooded 80% of their homelands. 80% of the land was taken from them. Nearly 90% of the population had to relocate during the late 50s and early 60s. And at that time, Elbow Woods was might as well call it the capital of the reservation. And that is where the Bureau of Indian Affairs had the agency headquarters, the government headquarters. There was a hospital there, sawmill. It was a very progressive community. There was coal mines. They were doing large-scale farming on the river bottom. They said that the corn there grew as tall as a man on a horse.
Wow.
And the community was very self-sufficient. They had their own hospital. And they were a very flourishing community. And had history not changed the course of that community, I don't think we would be sitting right here today. I think we would be sitting in a town about the size of Dickinson, which would be Elbow Woods today, because of the location of the resources, the location of the bridge. They had a bridge there, one of the few bridges in North Dakota that crossed the Missouri River, and the location of the pipeline that runs to Mandan would have naturally ran through there, and number 8 would have been a major thoroughfare.
Interesting.
So since that was all lost, the communities that were going to be affected by the flood, which were several communities in this area as well, that being the community of Saunish near the present-day Four Bears Bridge, and the community of Van Hook east of Newtown. Those communities had to also relocate their businesses and some of their homes and their schools and government facilities. In the late 40s, when the plan was set and the legislation was passed, the communities of Partial and Newtown, I saw according to old tribal council minutes, were actually vying for the location of the new agency headquarters because it meant that the town would go forward and thrive from the government facilities and the agency headquarters and housing that the government would relocate. The city fathers of Saunish and Van Hook won that battle against the city fathers of Partial.
Oh.
And so those facilities were then relocated to create the new town, which was established and dedicated in September of 1950.
Interesting. So I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but there's some other history that Lewis and Clark came through this area, and Sakakawea, and you were actually author of a book that is out.
Correct.
And you pointed to
just
some
released
hills.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the journey.
Okay. Well, as briefly as I can, tribes nowadays are getting into rewriting history and giving their own version of their oral traditions and their history. And this book is a product of that. Our tribe has long known that Sakakawea was not Shoshone, that she was actually a Hidatsa member of our tribe. And so a group of our established scholars and historians got together, and we spent about 6 years writing this book. And we proved that, we think, very well with our oral traditions, our DNA evidence, and all of the documents and records, the earliest that we could find, including military documents. So she had a very interesting life. Her real name was Mha Interpretive, which meant Eagle Woman, but she was referred to by the expedition as Sakakawea, or Bird Woman. Okay. And she passed away in the Fort Buford area in 1869.
And so if anyone wanted to pick up this book, they can find it right out here at the Mandan Hidatsa Mha Interpretive Center.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Nueta Hidatsa Sanish College, Mandan Hidatsa Mha Interpretive Center, Coulee Creek Designs. My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Nueta Hidatsa Sanish College, Mandan Hidatsa Mha Interpretive Center, Coulee Creek Designs.
Fall is here. That means trail riding, yard work, and outdoor fun. Four Bears Casino is giving away not 1, not 2, but 3 2022 Can-Am Defender side-by-side ATVs. Plus, they're including a winch and plow with each one. Start qualifying now by playing your favorite slots to earn entries. Win one of 3 on September 17th, October 23rd, or October 30th at Four Bears Casino, 4 miles west of Newtown.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
In today's fast-paced world, you need an insurance agent who takes the time to place you and your family with an insurance company that's competitive, stable, and reputable. For a team who is dedicated to providing you with the best options for your needs, see Cornerstone Insurance Services in Newtown.
I'm Rick Becker.
And I'm Lori Hins.
Welcome to No Apologies, your after-hours oasis of sanity.
Your retreat begins at 9 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Newtown Chamber, Cornerstone Bank, and Cornerstone Insurance Services.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
The Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College offers a diverse course lineup to provide students exciting career opportunities. Here at NHSC, we aim to enhance the quality of life for the Mandan Hidatsa and Arikara Nation, build a positive and strong identity of the three affiliated tribes, and encourage the need to voice informed opinions to make a positive change. Come see if Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College is right for you. Apply online today at nhsc.edu. My hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Newtown Jack and Jill, Better Bee Cafe, J&J Rental,
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck from Newtown. We're having so much fun up here today, and I want to introduce Kadero Taylor. Welcome to the show, Kadero.
Thank you for having me today.
Wonderful. You know, I have been in the area a couple weeks just looking for stories and whatnot, and I understand you have a unique story. How did you get to Newtown?
Well, to let everybody know, I am originally from the Bahamas, and I came up to North Dakota looking to further my education. I went to Minot State University, go Beavers.
Go Beavers, I'm a Beaver.
That's what we have in common here. And I got a degree in finance and international business. So while in the area, I became very acclaimed and of my surroundings, etc. And I looked for, jobs locally. And here I am now working as a branch manager at Dakota West Credit Union here in Newtown. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I don't see a lot of people migrating from the Bahamas to North Dakota. Tell us what the cultural change and the weather change, just tell us what it's like to live here.
Well, the weather change wasn't too bad, from sunny tropical to, very harsh cold winters below zero. I took it pretty good. But in regards to the climate change and other cultural changes, I'm very open-minded. I do feel prepared and accept a bunch of different cultures that I am faced with. And coming here to North Dakota, I was welcomed with open arms, and I was able to kind of, get acquainted with a bunch of different cultures, especially Native Americans. Before I came here, if you asked me what an Indian taco was, I would tell you, I don't know. Now, one of my favorite dishes, so.
Right, or a walking taco too, pretty
Right.
famous for that. So interesting enough, your family, what did they do in the Bahamas?
Okay, so in regards to employment, my mother as well worked in the banking industry, and my father, he actually worked with the government in regards to the education system, etc. In regards to, opportunity, I kind of wanted to seek it elsewhere and be different and kind of get acquainted with different cultures, so.
And so has your family come up to visit you in North Dakota?
So I have had them up here a few times, most recently when I graduated a few years ago. And my mother, to this day, she tells me, how do you survive with the weather? It could be 50 degrees and she's kind of chilly. I'm like, no, it's pretty perfect for me. So we kind of joke about that all the time, and yeah.
I think a lot of people say as long as the wind's not blowing, it's fine.
And that is what I have learned.
Yes. And so kudos to like the education and the climate of North Dakota per se. It's like people say North Dakota nice. Would you think that's a fair statement or a true statement?
Well, I do believe so. Like I said, when I first came to, welcomed with open arms, and in regards to North Dakota in general, I would say you may feel like there isn't much to see, but there is so much to do. you could always keep yourself occupied. No matter what city or town, you will enjoy yourself.
And so why don't you quickly tell us some of the highlights of Newtown? What do you do for fun in Newtown?
Okay, so with Newtown, the good thing here too is, you actually have a combination of different cultures. You have like a Chinese restaurant here, you have a few Mexican places that open up for business, and you have your Native Americans, and you kind of have, your boomers from the oil that all kind of intertwine together and, come across. So here too, the biggest thing is the casino. I do feel like Newtown has the potential to be a huge tourist attraction here in North Dakota. So typically, going down to the casino, you get to do a bunch of different things. You don't just go and play slot machines. You get to go to concerts, or if there's kind of sports going on, it kind of is a home for several different things. So that is the major attraction here. So
wonderful. Like a Super Bowl party, you could go out there and hang out and watch all kinds
you
of
can
activities.
throw your own party at the casino if you want.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Kadero. We really appreciate hearing from you right here on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Thank you.
I'm visiting with Cindy Peterson right here in Newtown, North Dakota. Welcome to the show, Cindy.
Thank you.
So you are with the Chamber. Why don't you tell us what the Chamber is all about?
The Newtown Chamber is an organization of businesses and individuals that are trying to promote activities and quality of life in Newtown.
I came into Newtown a couple weeks ago just trying to get story ideas, and I couldn't help but notice this big, tall cowboy on the outskirts of town. Tell me about him.
That is Earl Bunyan, Paul's cousin, who
Paul
came
Bunyan's
out
cousin.
that came out to ranch in, I think it was the early times of Newtown being created here in the 50s.
Interesting. So he left his legacy right here.
He did, and we are currently working on restoring him and getting him set up more as a tourist attraction with his full history and everything.
Yeah, it is interesting. I stopped by there the first time I came in, and now 3 weeks later, there's scaffolding all around him, so I know things are getting done around here. But there's also a locomotive on the edge of town. Tell me about that.
That is a Sioux line locomotive, and I honestly don't know the history much on it as well yet. But what we're trying to do right now is restore it, and we're going to put a cover over it this year just to protect it from the weather and the elements, and then eventually get up plaques that people can read and why it's important to the history of Newtown.
All right, so it sounds like you guys are trying to generate more tourism to come into town.
Tourism, yes, as well as, being able to bring customers in for our businesses, for our Main Street businesses.
It's interesting because I think we've had conversations before. I've driven kind of around. You have that new truck bypass.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want people to know that Newtown is not that long and there's not a street light, so don't be afraid to go through the middle of town just by going on the truck bypass. That's more or less for the trucks, but the people should just still come right through the middle of town.
Right, definitely. We want you to come through. We've got a lot of little boutiques on Main Street, as well as restaurants and the businesses, the hardware stores. We've got quite a little to offer.
Well, speaking of the boutique, Coulee Creek, who is also a sponsor of the show, this vest came from there when she had a store down in Bismarck as well. And so I love Coulee Creek, and I've shopped online with them. But one of the cafes you have downtown is called Better Bee Cafe. And I asked the history of Better Bee, and I said, well, where did you come up with the name? And they said, well, we were in the family car. We come up over the top of the hill, and they said, well, this looks like a nice place to settle. And Mom said, well, it better be. And so that's how the name of that store came, or the cafe came to be. But you have quite a vibrant Main Street. You have a lot going on.
We do, and as the Chamber, we try to put on events throughout the year. We do car show, we help sponsor fishing derbies. We're talking about bringing a carnival to town eventually, maybe next year, rodeos, and different events like that to keep bringing people in.
Sure, and you also work with the Mandan Hidatsa, or the MHA tourism.
We
and
do.
the casino.
Yep.
And the marina. So why don't you just quickly tell us a little bit about that?
We're trying to partnership with everybody. As everyone knows, small towns are always short staffed, short on people that volunteer. So the more we can partner with other entities and still bring in more of a diverse program for people to come see. You don't just come to see the car show, you also get a little taste of the powwow dances and things like that at the same time. So
what weekend is your powwow? Is it usually the same
there's
time?
actually different ones.
Okay.
I think some of the ladies from the tourism here would be able to address those weekends better.
And you also have a pretty good rodeo program as well, is that right?
They'll do the rodeos. You know, they're hoping to expand them next year more.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being on the show today. We really appreciate it. And if you guys are looking for a fun place to visit, stay, and play, and maybe do a little bit of fishing, a little bit of gambling, you can do it all right here in Newtown.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Newtown Jack and Jill, Better Bee Cafe, J&J Rental. My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Four Bears Casino and Lodge, Newtown Chamber, Drivers Sweets and Treats.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
In today's fast-paced world, you need an insurance agent who takes the time to place you and your family with an insurance company that's competitive, stable, and reputable. For a team who is dedicated to providing you with the best options for your needs, see Cornerstone Insurance Services in Newtown.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Dakota West Credit Union, Van Hook Territorial Inn, Ranchman's 23 Saloon and Steakhouse. The Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College offers a diverse course lineup to provide students exciting career opportunities. Here at NHSC, we aim to enhance the quality of life for the Mandan Hidatsa and Arikara Nation, build a positive and strong identity of the three affiliated tribes, and encourage the need to voice informed opinions to make a positive change. Come see if Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College is right for you. Apply online today at nhsc.edu.
Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Billings, host of The Right Side with Doug Billings, where we take great joy every day in entering into your lives at key moments to make differences for the better. That's how we fulfill the meaning of life. You can see me on Beck TV and Beck.News. Cheers.
Fall is here. That means trail riding, yard work, and outdoor fun. Four Bears Casino is giving away not one, not two, but three 2022 Can-Am Defender side-by-side ATVs. Plus, they're including a winch and plow with each one. Start qualifying now by playing your favorite slots to earn entries. Win one of three on September 17th, October 23rd, or October 30th at Four Bears Casino, 4 miles west of Newtown.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Great Plains Indian Trading, Pizza Pie on the Fly, RTC Networks.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. I am Mary, and I am now joined by President Twyla Baker of the Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College.
Perfect.
All right, I've been practicing my my language skills here. So welcome to the show, Twyla.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here.
Tell us about education. Education is so important, whether it be in high school, college, whatever, but you have it all right here in Newtown.
Yes, absolutely. We're kind of like the gem of Newtown. I like to brag about the tribal college anyway. We are one of 37 tribally chartered institutions of higher education in the United States. And we are chartered by the 3 affiliated tribes, or Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation. And it's my honor to be able to lead the college as its president, and I'm a citizen of the MHA Nation as well. I was born and raised here, and then I left for several years. And now I'm back in president, and at NHSC, as we call ourselves, Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College, we do a lot of different things. We are just kind of your typical college in some ways, but we also have the double responsibility of wrapping culture into higher education itself. And it's so important to us that it's a part of our mission, like revitalizing the culture. We do language classes, we do community education type classes. We also offer all kinds of community type events and things of that nature. We're really kind of like a part of the heartbeat of the Newtown area and Fort Berthold itself.
All right. So where did you get your education from?
I'm like straight up North Dakota. I went to University of North Dakota. I got my bachelor's, master's, and PhD while I was at UND. And it's like the moment I got my PhD, then somebody from home was calling, okay, it's time to come home and work at the college. So
but it sounds like you gladly came back.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. My this is my home, and I am dyed-in-the-wool Eagle. Newtown High School is the Eagles. And my parents were here, my brothers live here, my family is just all over the place. So I was more than happy to return and to work at our college.
Right. And I think, you touched on it about the importance of keeping our cultures alive. No matter what culture we're from, it's so important because every generation it kind of slips farther and farther.
Absolutely. I think it's really important to remember and to you really just kind of tell the stories of the place that you're living in and to know a lot of these things. And honestly, our histories are intertwined and they are intrinsically connected to each other. We have a lot more in common than we have, to divide us.
Amen to that.
We've got a lot of stories to tell, and I love listening to the history of places and to know that you're sitting maybe, a mile or two away from someplace that something historic happened, right. And I love that part about North Dakota.
And there's so much going on right here in Newtown as well.
Absolutely.
This is, like you said, almost the heartbeat. Like the central ground for North Dakota.
Yeah, and there's always something going on in Newtown. There's always something going on our campus as well. We've got sports going on right now. We have, our student organizations are very busy planning events which are open to the public, and we are a public institution of higher education, so we are open to all comers. You don't have to be a tribal member to enroll at our college. And we educate a fair amount of the people that are working in the region. We've got bachelor's degrees in higher elementary education, so there's lots of teachers out there that came from our college, and just a number of different things we're trying to serve our community as best we can.
And so what is a graduating class? How many do you have?
It's pretty small. It's not the great big institutions in state. A graduating class might be around 30 for us.
But with that being said, you get a lot of hands-on
absolutely.
Instruction.
Absolutely. I think our teacher ratio at the high end is 1 to 8. So we know our students by their first name. I'm probably one of the few presidents that can walk down the hallway of our college and be called auntie multiple times by our students. So they know us.
That's great. And North Dakota has another great college, and that's the United Tribes Technical College. What's the difference? Do you have more education up on your end, and they're more technical, or describe the difference?
It's just a larger institution. They have a few more programs than we do. However, the tribal colleges really work very closely to each other. There's a couple of other colleges in state that we work with closely at Turtle Mountain, Spirit Lake, Standing Rock, and we are all one big coalition that works together, and we do a lot of the same things. We have a lot of the same concerns. So we work with the state, we work with our region, and nationally together.
Wonderful. So to give our viewers kind of a quick spotlight, what would you say, why would you say come to your college?
Come to my college because you're going to be able to see the president right away. I have an open door policy. And we get in there and we kind of roll up our sleeves, and we take our jobs very seriously. We're really passionate about what we do, and we really support our students very, very well. So if you want to support a community, I want you to come to NHSC.
So President Baker, tell us a little bit about the 10 gig. I understand RTC has it in the high school and it's coming to the college.
Yes, we're really excited about it. It's just a means of serving our students better by getting fast data, fast information to them, having it at their fingertips. And we're one of the first institutions
in the United States.
Yeah, to get
the
10
United
gig.
States.
So I'm really excited. We're just this little tribal college, but we're really trying to move things along.
Great. And so we're going to have a quick little message from RTC, and we'll see you after that on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Newtown Schools is located on the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation in western North Dakota. Our student population is made up of approximately 95% Native American students, and 65% of our students are on free and reduced lunch. Equity has always been really important to Newtown Public Schools, and making sure that every student has a good, enriching experience with internet at school helps ensure that there will be equal learning across the board.
Distance learning definitely was a challenge. It was a logistical and technical nightmare at times.
And we found during distance learning that having a robust internet system was really important to delivering services.
Newtown Schools was the first customer in RTC's service area to sign up for 10 gig service because they want to provide a great experience to their teachers and to their students throughout their school district.
When we welcome our students back this fall, we're excited to have a 10 gig line coming into our school, and our teachers are thrilled to be starting to implement a 1-to-1 plus initiative, which will allow teachers to really redefine what they're doing in the classrooms.
We want each student to have, during the day, their own laptop. They can then project their laptops to screens. They can share everything through Apple Classrooms with the teacher and the other students. They can all work together. With RTC supplying 10 gig, literally for the children, the world is going to be their oyster.
Our students are so different than what they were 20 years ago. They've grown up in the digital age. Many of them are already past the substitution stage. They know how to write a paper. That's not new to them. They want to dig in. They want to create. They want to share with the world the things that they're doing.
I mean, going forward, the possibilities are endless. As I said, we're setting up a VR lab. We're going to have 21 VR headsets. So I could have 21 children sitting there being taken through museums and having a live person at the other end discussing everything with them. And 10 gig will make that possible.
Being progressive, a lot of people say it, but when you put the action into words, I think that really says a lot. And RTC being ready to share 10 gig with Newtown school districts, I think speaks to their progressive attitude.
It absolutely makes us really proud that we're going to be like the first people to do this. And, a small town, showing the big schools how it should be done. And we could not do that without RTC. RTC are not just our suppliers, they're our partners in this.
For me, it's important to provide this type of service to school districts to enable learning, because there's not much more important in life than education.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Four Bears Casino and Lodge, Newtown Chamber, Drivers Sweets and Treats, My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Dakota West Credit Union, Van Hook Territorial Inn, Ranchman's 23 Saloon and Steakhouse,
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
In today's fast-paced world, you need an insurance agent who takes the time to place you and your family with an insurance company that's competitive, stable, and reputable. For a team who is dedicated to providing you with the best options for your needs, see Cornerstone Insurance Services in Newtown. My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Mha Interpretive College, Mandan Hidatsa Arikara Interpretive Center, Coulee Creek Designs. The Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College offers a diverse course lineup to provide students exciting career opportunities. Here at NHSC, we aim to enhance the quality of life for the Mandan Hidatsa and Arikara Nation, build a positive and strong identity of the three affiliated tribes, and encourage the need to voice informed opinions to make a positive change. Come see if Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College is right for you. Apply online today at nhsc.edu.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Fall is here. That means trail riding, yard work, and outdoor fun. Four Bears Casino is giving away not one, not two, but three 2022 Can-Am Defender side-by-side ATVs. Plus, they're including a winch and plow with each one. Start qualifying now by playing your favorite slots to earn entries. Win one of three on September 17th, October 23rd, or October 30th at Four Bears Casino, 4 miles west of Newtown.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Newtown Chamber, Cornerstone Bank, and Cornerstone Insurance Services.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. I am Mary, and I'm sitting with Delphine Baker. Welcome to the show, Delphine.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. You know, this is such a beautiful facility. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, this is the Mha Interpretive Center, and this has been in the works for almost 20 years.
Wow.
It was originally an idea of a late councilman, Scott Eagle, and a late tribal architect named Denby Deegan. They're both passed on now, but they started it. The tribe just didn't have the money to get it rolling, so the project kind of died in 2005. And then I came in here in 2012 and started revising it again and trying to get it going, and here we are sitting in the Interpretive Center today. It's a reality, and it's been a long process, but it's very exciting because we get to show showcase our culture and celebrate who we are as people. And I think it's really important to do that for our tribal members because there's nowhere else they can do that except for here.
Wow. So Newtown, what is the population?
It's around about 5,000, maybe 6, I'm not sure.
Oh, it's larger than I thought. So that's interesting. So as far as the financing then, did some of it come because of the oil that's in the area as well?
Mm-hmm.
It did. Okay. So it's nice. So there's been benefits. There's blessings on both sides of that.
Yeah. There is blessings on both sides. There's been, the oil activity, the traffic and all that. I mean, because I've lived here for a lot of years, but this is really truly a blessing of the income that the tribe got. So they were able to pay for this facility, and in here we're telling our story. We have the museum, the gift shop, the coffee shop. We have an amphitheater. We have 3 levels of patio, and we also have a telescope on the roof. And the views from here are just awesome.
Wonderful. So the telescope, is that open to the public then?
Yeah, you just have to ask at the gift shop and say, I want to go to the roof, and somebody will give you a tour up there, and they can walk around and look through the telescope. It's free.
So because there's a lot of historical sites around this area. Lewis and Clark came through the area. It's a big trading route for whether it was fur traders, Native Americans, the white settlers, everything. It was kind of in the middle of everywhere.
It was, and it was even a buffalo jump in this area.
Yes. Yes. Interesting. Yeah, there's just, I've walked around the building, and it's just beautiful. I'm almost speechless because it is so pretty. What gave you the idea for the shape and whatnot? Why don't you explain that to our viewers?
Well, that was kind of it was a drawing that was done in the beginning with Scott Eagle and Denby Deegan, but it was not big enough. It was smaller. And so they had a smaller gift shop. They had a coffee station, but not really a coffee shop. And then they had a museum, and that's about it. And so then I decided that we needed to have a place where we could store all our artifacts, because as a tribe, we have a lot of artifacts sitting out there in other museums and other state historical society that are really pertinent to our tribal members, the Mandan, Hidatsa, and the Rickaron. And just like there's that Chief Forebear's robe that is in Stuttgart, Germany. It was given to Prince Maximilian. And I think that was in the 1800s.
Wow.
And they have it over there, but how many of us from here can hop on a plane and go to Stuttgart?
So do you think you're going to get that robe back?
Oh, I want to. We're working on it right now.
Wonderful.
That was one of the items of wanting to get this facility going, was we need to start getting some of that stuff back so our people can see it for themselves. Our kids can learn who they are, where they come from, and they can be glad to be a warrior instead of dressing like a rapper, or we need to change that culture here.
Pull the pants up maybe a little bit. All right. So Newtown it's a beautiful community. Just in your final thought, what would you tell people to come to Newtown? Just to give us your final thoughts.
I'd come to Newtown because this is the mecca of the MHA Nation, and here you could come to the Interpretive Center and you could look at our rich history. You could come here, buy some items from our gift shop.
Drink great coffee.
Have a nice cup of coffee. Our atrium is made like an earth lodge, and we have a huge 50-foot wall screen TV in there that talks about the making of this interpretive center and all it went through.
Wonderful.
And we're just showcasing our people.
Okay, well, I do want to thank you again for joining us right here on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Great Plains Indian Trading, Pizza Pie on the Fly, RTC Networks. My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Newtown Jack and Jill, Better Bee Cafe, J&J Rental.
Fall is here. That means trail riding, yard work, and outdoor fun. Four Bears Casino is giving away not one, not two, but three 2022 Can-Am Defender side-by-side ATVs. Plus, they're including a winch and plow with each one. Start qualifying now by playing your favorite slots to earn entries. Win one of three on September 17th, October 23rd, or October 30th at Four Bears Casino, 4 miles west of Newtown.
As a cooperative, RTC doesn't answer to outside shareholders. We are owned by the people we serve, the people we see every day in our schools, communities, and homes, the people we care about most. As we continue to serve our member owners, RTC is committed to providing the highest quality internet to keep our communities connected to friends, family, and the world. RTC, Connected Cooperative, Connected Community.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
In today's fast-paced world, you need an insurance agent who takes the time to place you and your family with an insurance company that's competitive, stable, and reputable. For a team who is dedicated to providing you with the best options for your needs, see Cornerstone Insurance Services in Newtown.
Hop in the rig and go down the road with me. We'll cover local and national stories that impact you. This is an opportunity to hear the other side, the progressive side. I think people lose sight of the fact that there's still work that happens after the session's over. Describe it to people if you like. There was an attack on NDSU, in my personal opinion. I'll use that word, you don't have to. Down the Road with Joel Heitkamp weekdays at 5:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
The Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College offers a diverse course lineup to provide students exciting career opportunities. Here at NHSC, we aim to enhance the quality of life for the Mandan Hidatsa and Arikara Nation, build a positive and strong identity of the three affiliated tribes, and encourage the need to voice informed opinions to make a positive change. Come see if Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College is right for you. Apply online today at nhsc.edu. My hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Four Bears Casino and Lodge, Newtown Chamber, Drivers Sweets and Treats,
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Back. I have the honor and privilege of sitting with Keith Bear from right here in the Newtown area. Welcome to the show, Keith.
Well, thank you very much. Honored to be here.
Awesome. You know, I have heard your flute music for years. Beautiful, beautiful music. It's so relaxing and so soothing.
Thank you.
Tell us the history of the flute music.
They say there was a story that a young man was in love with a young woman from another tribe, and they were told not to be together because they were different. But, you know, love knows no boundaries. So he was crying his heart out, you know, up there on the hill, thinking about this girl, and the owl told him, you gotta quit this. And then the cousin woodpecker came and made some holes in a branch, pecked the holes in the branches, and then you take this and you put your wish in here, and I'll carry it, the wind will carry it to her, and it'll dance in her hair and find a place in her heart for you. And so the flutes have been used in that courting kind of fashion for forever, as far as we know. The flutes that have the straight ends, those are more like the courting flutes. They can play them for anybody, anytime. And then when you play those bird head flutes, those are the ones you want to play when you find that special person. Because like the loons and the swans and geese, long necks, when they take a mate, they're together forever. So hunters might see that when they go hunting, take one will come back to be with that one that was taken, but that's the partner. And so they will even offer their lives for one another.
Oh, that's interesting. And so how long have you been playing the flute?
I started in about 1982, I guess. I had carried the flute for about 2 years. I made a trade with Sonny Tate and Navakoya out of Oklahoma, and we were working the oil field together in Wyoming. I saw him making those, and I offered to trade him, offered to buy it from him, $200, $300, $400, and he said no. So I did what I learned from the white people. I gave him some encouragement.
Liquid courage.
There you go. And so then I took all the feathers and things I had, and I put them on a star quilt on the hotel room floor, and I said, whatever you want. I said, I'd like to take it, but I'd like to have that flute. So he took some black tips, which are very valuable, eagle feathers, some goldens, some of the conch shells, which are very valuable. And anyway, he grabbed that blanket, he shook it, and all the rest of the teeth and claws and everything went flying. And I was going to be angry with him because, you know, I respected him and put him on this blanket, not on the dirty floor. But when he turned around, that flute was laying there, and I kind of looked at him. And he said I could have whatever I want, and I like your blanket too. So, so that's how I got the first one, and I carried it for a couple of years. I would show it to people, and then I decided I want to change my life. So I went up on a hill and put myself there 4 days and 4 nights. And when the last morning come by, my woman came and signaled it was over. So I went down to the house, and as I was rehydrating with soup and water over the next few days, I tried to play that flute. Because I had that, I didn't have a pipe, you know, but I had this sacred flute. And so that was what I put on the trees in front of me. And the wind made some noise the second night. And the third night, the leaves of the branches and maybe the leaves of the grass moved over those holes a little bit, and it made more sound. And it kind of scared me, but at the same time, I thought, I'm asking for help. Maybe they're here to let me know. And so when I came down, it took me about a week, and I got Itsy Bitsy Spider was my first song. I kind of listened. I've never played it before, never played something. And so, but I could sing. I was in choir in Bismarck High School, in the concert choir. Singing's always been a part of our family. My father was a great musician. My mother loved to sing Patsy Cline. People requested her. She was just a great voice. So having music in our life was always a part of our tradition, family tradition as well as cultural. Then the uncles and grandfathers and grandmothers, they were great singers. Some were Christian with the gospel music, and some were country western, and some just hoboed around. And they would pick up different sounds from different areas and bring those things home. And so when I started playing the flute, I just listened to the wind. I'd listen to the bugs that are going by, the birds. And so I tried to imitate those things. And then somehow Itsy Bitsy Spider came on. And then it just kind of gradually snowballed. And I just listened to the flute. You know, sometimes I went to Washington, D.C. with some of my elders performing a buffalo dance. And my uncle said, do you know this song? And he started singing a particular song, and I said, yeah, I know that. He said, well, play it for me. Well, up until then, I was just making up noise. I'd never tried to play a song. So it took me about 3 days, and as we were sitting there on the Washington Mall, he was just off a little ways, Willem Bell, and I started to play that song without indicating to him. And he turned and he looked at me and he nodded his head. And I had it. So that's how I came to start making songs, was make poetry, see something that makes me feel good or makes me feel sad. So just let those emotions come through the flute. I've seen them make people cry. I've seen them make people laugh. Some people say they float. Some people fly. So it is a medicine, like my aunt said. The medicine of the flute is for the spirit. You know, some people are hurt in their heart and mind, and it takes them to a place, maybe out here or maybe in there, where they can find themselves and heal a little bit. It takes those children and helps them to dream about being warriors and protectors, providers of tomorrow. And it takes elders back to when they were younger. So it's very powerful what it can do.
Wow. And so it's important to keep these traditions alive.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah. So we try to use those things that were handed down. The porcupine quills is a strong medicine that we use. And so having that right gifted to me, I showed these flutes to one of my aunties and the beadwork. And, oh, that's really pretty, she said, but, you know, there's kind of like white people. I said, how's that? She said, well, they're nice to look at, but they're cold and there's nothing inside there. He said, but these quills, you know, we use these for medicine, love medicine, different things, and they are a part of life. They're filled with life. So she gave me one of the few men that has the actual right to do quill work. My uncle gave me the right to make flutes. You know, the other ones in his family, they make stone art, rock art, but I was gifted with this, so I'm very lucky.
All right. So I do want to thank you for being here today. And could you just take us out and play a song for us as we leave?
Oh, let me try this.
It's beautiful.
My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Dakota West Credit Union, Van Hook Territorial Inn, Ranchman's 23 Saloon and Steakhouse, Cornerstone Bank, and Cornerstone Insurance Services. My Hometown in Newtown is brought to you by the following: Great Plains Indian Trading, Pizza Pie on the Fly, RTC Networks.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
In today's fast-paced world, you need an insurance agent who takes the time to place you and your family with an insurance company that's competitive, stable, and reputable. For a team who is dedicated to providing you with the best options for your needs, see Cornerstone Insurance Services in Newtown. The Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College offers a diverse course lineup to provide students exciting career opportunities. Here at NHSC, we aim to enhance the quality of life for the Mandan Hidatsa and Arikara Nation, build a positive and strong identity of the three affiliated tribes, and encourage the need to voice informed opinions to make a positive change. Come see if Newtown Hidatsa Sanish College is right for you. Apply online today at nhsc.edu.
Fall is here. That means trail riding, yard work, and outdoor fun. Four Bears Casino is giving away not one, not two, but three 2022 Can-Am Defender side-by-side ATVs. Plus, they're including a winch and plow with each one. Start qualifying now by playing your favorite slots to earn entries. Win one of three on September 17th, October 23rd, or October 30th at Four Bears Casino, 4 miles west of Newtown.